Sticking with us here for our special coverage for the trops. You can see in the red coverage, that means we're expecting some huge impacts here through the weekend.
And we're going to continue with you through Sunday, Monday, into the week even, with a lot of extra coverage on this storm as it moves through portions of the United States or very close to it as it stays just off ashore.
But plenty of weather out ahead. Making landfall. Let's take a look here. This is all of the moisture coming together here as we see a lot of that. Still not a whole lot of organization, but starting to feel some of those impacts in South Florida. Yeah, a couple of showers, thunderstorms there. We have plenty of showers and thunderstorms across the Northeast for today. Little bit of moisture skirting the Sierras, and then you're also capturing Carlota there in the Pacific. No problems for the U.S. system. It is working its way northward through the Gulf of Mexico. There, it's strengthening. And so much warm water and slower movement here means it may spend some more time over water just before it makes landfall. So right now the exclusive AccuWeather forecast are, unfortunately. It doesn't. All right, we want to take you out to Tampa right now into Florida. Check out our track map on the AccuWeather app. You'll still see that last point is by next Saturday, just hugging the Carolina coast. So this is going to be a long haul when we talk about the future of what will become Debbie. Right now, Tropical Depression 4. The impacts don't change regardless of what it gets called here throughout the coming days. Notice the time frame here takes us all the way out until August 8th. The big concern here with slow-moving systems, and we're going to dive deep, heavy rain will be on the AccuWeather real impact scale for hurricanes. This is a 1 right now. We'll be watching things as we go forward in time. So we took you out to Tampa earlier. I want to show you some of those worst conditions for you in Tampa starting tomorrow morning, continuing through tomorrow evening. We're 4 to 8 inches of rain looking likely. Highest wind gusts anywhere from 60 to 80 miles per hour. And there's that storm surge at 3 to 6 feet. Future radar continues to show those heavy rain bands already start that heavy rain and the slow-moving system early into next week, absolutely slamming South Carolina before it moves farther north across North Carolina. Most of the Florida Peninsula is going to get anywhere from about 4 to 8 inches of rain, but North Florida all the way up into coastal Carolina, North Carolina, that's especially a landfalling hurricane. Yeah, we are expecting an area here into the Big Bend to get about 80 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts. Those stronger winds, though, will be prolonged along the southeastern Atlantic coast here, anywhere from 60 to 80 miles per hour. Well, we're keeping an eye on the travel across the nation, too, this morning because you might be encountering some rain out there, and some heavy rain can obviously quickly create delays. Travel delays likely up and down the East Coast, but most especially in southern. Well, California's Park Fire is currently the biggest wildfire, but there are more than 100 wildfires currently burning across the state. Ariella Scalese spoke with Adrienne Freeman. She's the Public Affairs Officer for the USDA Forest Service. Of course, in the West, many fires, right? So that's been part of our story. Across the Southwest, you can see California, one of those spots lighting up, even portions of Colorado. But the Northwest, many fires that are large, more than 1,000 acres. The biggest one that we're concerned with right now has really been again, concerned with flooding in Florida, but we've also seen rounds of it across the north central tier of the nation over the past few weeks. Sioux Falls, one of the areas hard hit. Dry for today, but showers and thunderstorms are starting to return again in Fargo. Amongst the summer heat, there's a lot of hot numbers on the board. What will be in the Carolinas? Yeah, that's something. As I've covered plenty of hurricanes and tropical storms, you don't have to be where the storm makes landfall to get some of the biggest impacts. This map shows it perfectly. This is AccuWeather's real impact scale for hurricanes. We'll break down exactly what that means, but it shows more of the impact than just the wind, which is what the Saffir-Simpson scale does show. You can see where the storm is going to North Carolina. And even well farther north, we'll still see that some risk to lives and property as far north as Virginia Beach. It's the flooding rain and just the days and days of heavy rain, in addition to the storm surge, gusty winds, and a dangerous surf out there. Currently standing as a 1 on the AccuWeather real impact scale for hurricanes. And when we break that down, 50 to 70 miles per hour. We take you into time here as things really start to increase here in intensity for tonight across parts of southwest Florida. You can see where the center of the storm is now. It gets better organized over the very warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, and it continues to sit and churn, gaining that strength here with the wind intensity, but also sending all of that heavy moisture. Plus, we'll watch for the tornado risk here across Florida, and then eventually up to Tropical Depression 4 moving its way through the Gulf of Mexico will strengthen to a hurricane, making landfall
Monday morning, and look at the path beyond that. Here we are, though, as we talk about the storm lifting its way through the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. It is going to be a challenge for us because it is going to strengthen quite quickly. We know that from a lot of previous storms. It doesn't take much to get these storms to really strengthen pretty quickly. Then it makes landfall, likely weaken, but notice what happens here. It slows down. Now recall the waters off the coast of the Carolinas, very warm from the Gulf Stream, so it can sit here, it can spin, it can gather a lot of rainfall, it can dump it into the Carolinas as well as push seawater into the Carolinas. There will be some huge problems, I think, especially for the low country of South Carolina. There will be some challenges as far as some heavy rainfall. Take a look.